We are good. Hello, everybody. Okay, so we're going to start. Today is class number 9, and it is a day in the life of a real estate agent. So I wanted to talk about, putting all the classes that we took together. So basically from the beginning of the class number 1 to today's class number 9, we learned about the general terms, like what commercial real estate is, what the general terms are, how to read the paperwork, get the listing, market the listing, do the showings, negotiate the contracts, close. Now I'm going to talk about today just how to put everything together. And there's a lot of different ways to do this business. And there's only a couple of ways to do it right, let's say. And those right ways vary based on what your goals are. So let's talk about, a couple of the differences, right? And then what we're going to do is open up everyone's mics, or if you have a question, just ask, and then we'll open up your mic and we can even talk about it today. Because I want to answer each person's specific questions. If you're watching on Facebook, I guess you could just type it in the chat, or if you want to join the Zoom meeting and then just kind of talk over here, that works too. So, all right, let's start with let's go with a new part-time agent, which is the most, I guess, relaxed version of it, and then to a hardcore full-time agent. Okay, so a newer agent is gonna be, you know what? I don't even remember what a new agent thinks about. So maybe I can answer all your questions. Let's do the opposite. Let's talk about a full-time agent and what a day looks like. Or let's talk about my day, right? So nowadays it's a little different because I'm building the business. But a couple years back when I was just a solo broker going hardcore doing my own deals, my day would look something along the lines of wake up in the morning, get coffee, eat breakfast, then go to the office. When I go to the office, my first thing that I do is open my computer, right? So I'm going to share my screen real quick. And, it's very simple what I do. I open my HubSpot account. And then I open my email accounts, then my Google Drive folder, my calendar, and my notes. What I do is I'll take all of my emails, all of my tasks from my CRM, and all of my notes and kind of consolidate them because they're kind of all over the place from the day before. So I'll consolidate them the night before or the morning of, and I'll put everything back. So all my notes, I don't want to open them up because there might be sensitive information, but all my iCloud notes, I'll kill those notes and put them into HubSpot. And then all of my emails, my starred emails, I'll kill those stars and put them into HubSpot. And then from HubSpot, I'll start working on all my tasks and I'll check my calendar to check my appointments, right? All right. So anyway, after I consolidate my day, then it's one of three things. Either I'm working on getting listings, doing showings to get an offer in, or I am following up on deals that are being negotiated, right? Or a deal has closed already and I'm just kind of doing the maintenance service on it, right? So basically you're working as hard as you can, right? Let me just stop the screen share. Basically, you're working as hard as you can to fill up your sales pipeline, right? And that's the pipeline. Looking for new business, doing showings, negotiating offers and closings, right? So how do I approach my day? First thing I do is I clean up all my tasks, right? So on any given day, whatever, my whole day may be filled up just by doing showings, right? Or just by following up on deals, or even just pretending to be messing with my CRM and moving things around and just like organizing all day and nothing happens, right? But what's very important is to understand your pipeline. And then I want to pull up HubSpot real quick. Give me 1 second. Gotta do someone else. I'll do, and Andrew's gonna be a new agent, so I'll show you this screen. So once I clean up my notes, I go to HubSpot. There's no deals here right now because I don't want to share like sensitive information for my client stuff. But basically, I'm looking at my negotiated offers. I'm calling them real quick and trying to close those deals. The listings, they should be all up and being shown. And then I'm working on like hot leads to get new listings, right? And what happens a lot of the time is that there's so much stuff to do and there's so many questions and the day moves so fast that you can end up doing nothing and just like pretending to do work. It's really, really important to identify, what actually makes the money. So what actually makes money as an agent is getting listings, doing showings and closing deals, and you have to do as much of them as possible. So imagine you're working on a deal, like $1 million deal, and your potential commission is $30,000. And after your splits and everything like that, you might end up getting like $15,000. To work that one listing, you need to get the listing, put up the marketing, right? And then the showings start coming in. But what that means in between all that is like all from all the classes summarized, like all the due diligence, all the marketing, all the calls, all the showings, all the follow-up, right? And for one listing, even one listing's a lot of work. You can do that. And then, but once everything's up and you're waiting for people to call, you might find that one listing is not enough work. Like you might go days at a time without any real estate activity. So then what do? You need to go get more leads, right? More listings or more buyers that you're working with, so that in this downtime, when the listings that you've obtained and that you're currently showing or negotiated, while they're sitting there kind of in between looking for while you're trying to close a deal, in that downtime, you need to be pursuing new business, right? So now you get more business, let's say, and you have 3 listings. And now you have to do the graphics and the uploading and everything for the 3 listings and then showings. You might find, with 3 listings, I'm a little bit more busy, right? And 3 listings might get you like 45, 50,000 for the year. But then they might not all close. So then what happens? You're working super hard, you're learning a lot, and you're packing your day as much as you can, but only one of them closes. And on the year, you made like 20 grand, maybe not even, and then you're going broke. Like, that's not sustainable. And like in many, many sales industries, and particularly real estate, we all heard it. We heard it on the day we went to licensing course. Within the first year, 80% of new agents drop out. By the second year, it's like 96%, right? And it's because of these things that I'm explaining right now. So I hope my message gets across today, but it's kind of more of a there's a lot of nuance to it. But yeah, so let's say we get more listings now, right? And we get to like, I don't know, 5 to 10 listings. So now we're at 5 to 10 listings, and you're like, ooh, let's say 5 listings, right? And you're like, oh, I feel very busy because I have to do all these graphics, I have to do all these showings, I'm negotiating these contracts, I have my regular life to deal with, I drink too much coffee at the coffee shop, and then I like to hang out and talk to my friends too much, and then what happens is like you start feeling very busy because there's things that happen. The price changes, and then you need to update all of the marketing and re-update all the graphics. And then you need to find that like, oh, I'm not that organized. So I need to figure out how to organize myself, right? You'll start thinking things like, oh, maybe I need a new wardrobe because I've been going on these listings and I feel like I should represent myself a certain way, right? Maybe you need new sales skills and stuff. You need to like do continuing education, right? My continuing education is like just listening to Audible books, real estate books, and like sales books and business books and whatnot. And then what you're going to find with 5+ listings, if you're disorganized and a new agent, each deal has all these questions that come about, right? Remember when we were talking about negotiating the deal, and then we have like all these different, every single deal, even now, after I've done like 100 deals, there's always something new to learn. So you'll start feeling like kind of overwhelmed with all the different stuff that you need to do. And for me, that includes like, I'm good at talking to people and building relationships and understand business and getting listings. I'm not good at like organizing myself with the computer and building systems. And I used to be really good at calls, but I just can't do it anymore. I've made like tens of thousands of phone calls in my life, and I just can't, right? So you're going to find that you're starting to get very, very, very busy with a lot of different jobs. You're like a graphics designer, you're a writer, you're a salesperson, you're a real estate expert, like, all that stuff. And then you have to learn your products, right? Are you doing commercial? Are you doing sales? Are you doing residential? Are you doing rentals? Are you doing co-ops? Are you doing buyer side? Are you doing listing side, right? So let's say you make it past the first step of like, I just got my license and I can't close any deals. I can't even get started. And you're like, okay, I've been closing I close 2 or 3 deals a year and I'm making some money, but now I want to grow my business and it's getting out of hand, like just so much stuff to do. And then you have a choice, like you can build out these systems yourself, or you could try to find someone that'll help you. And that's why looking for a supportive brokerage is really important. And it really depends on what you want to do. So like, there's different brokerages. Some you call them like full service, and some you call like, and then and the full service shops will, they'll have offices, they'll give you, they'll have marketing material, they'll have networking events, office managers, training, leads, all that stuff. And then they're going to take like half of the commission, usually. And these are your more notable like national brands. And then you have these places that'll give you like 99% of your commission, like 95% of your commission. And they usually offer, they usually like don't offer much in support, just like standard templates of stuff. And you have to make everything yourself. And there's also like desk fees and stuff. So either of these shops can work depending on who you are. And it's really important to understand what you're trying to do when you're agent, like what your goals are, and then seeing where you fit. So do you have any questions from anyone? Let me see. Let me check Facebook real quick. No questions yet? So in my day, usually newer agents are gonna spend most of their day like trying to get listings and learning on the job. Medium agents, like experienced agents, they're gonna be kind of running around all day because they're juggling so many different kind of jobs for each listing and trying to get more listings. And their struggle is going to be to like how to become efficient and kind of like outsource stuff. And so they can get past like the 5 to 10 listing mark, which right, only half, sometimes not even half of them close, let's say, to being more efficient in terms of getting the listings and working the listings. So maybe now you can work like 10 to 20 listings, and also increasing their skill, right, in analyzing. So going back to like comps and market analysis class, where I was talking about really niching out and understanding your market and your product, so you don't have to run around every time you get a new listing to do like research. So imagine you get a new listing, you have to run around and do research just to get the price right. And that means calling a lot of people and like doing all these CMAs, but then at the end of the day, getting the number wrong. That's a type of like efficiency. So, if you had 5 listings where a lot of your numbers are off and you don't know the market, maybe only one will close. But if you're really good and you're not taking the deals that won't close, or at least you're speaking to the owner about it and on the same page, right? You may close 4 out of 5 deals or even 5 out of 5 deals, right? And that's a big difference. Moving beyond that, where I'm at right now is like, I try to focus on the only things that I'm good at, which is what you hear from a lot of people. You're going to hear that from a lot of people. When you want to start learning and upgrading your business, they're going to tell you, oh, you need to focus what you got to get good at. You need someone to take care of this. You need someone to take care of that. So for example, when I get a listing now, that's what I'm good at. I go speak to my contacts. I have built up relationships with them. I'm personable. I know my craft. I'm honest. I'm trying to get these listings, right? So I get them. What happens after I get the listing these days is that the data entry and the posting and the organizing of files, I'll give to my office manager. We work on that together. So, I'll fill up a lot of the data of the listing, the sales price, the commissions, any specific terms that are very important for the deal, anything that I should know of. There's some environmental damage that needs to be addressed, or we're still waiting for the CO. I'll fill up all that very, very detailed information where I need to speak to the owner about, but the office manager will now input the listings, check up on a lot of the different things. Let's say I'm using LoopNet and I post something and it doesn't let me, something goes wrong. What's the process there? That's like calling LoopNet, right? And then, or sending an email and waiting for them to respond. So within like the 1,000 things we need to do from the beginning to the end of the listing, even little things like that in between your day-to-day just pop up, right? So not only do I have the office manager posting things, but also take care of these bugs that come up, right? That for any new agent is half the day. And for me now, it's just like, get it, make a task. She knows what she's doing already. Now I don't have to do that. I save that half day, right? What's next? Okay, let's go take pictures, video, make all of the graphical designs, update the website, update everything else we posted, make a video, right? This, for me, would take another full day because you got to go to the space, take pictures, right? You have to schedule to go to the place, go to the space sometimes, right? Take the video, drive home, put everything together, assuming you already know how to do it, right? Mind you, this is the new agent struggle. Everything that I'm saying, you have to relearn. You're gonna relearn so many different things. You're gonna look at what you did during the year. You're gonna do no real estate and made zero money, but got good at like making brochures and posting stuff and learning a lot of real estate. At the end of the day, that's what kills everyone. You work so hard and so long without making any money, like learning a bunch of stuff, but without making money. And eventually life happens and you just can't do this job anymore. So everyone needs to break through to the other side where this job is sustainable financially, right? So I would spend the whole day taking those pictures and everything and posting everything up. And then the calls start coming in, right? And then what happens after that? The calls start coming in and I have to respond to all these calls. I have to keep picking up the phone, right? And that just kind of gets thrown in daily. I have like 30 listings. I get constant calls these days. If I just picked up my phone calls only and talked to everyone, that'd be like half my week. So now moving on to graphics, for those of you that aren't in Project Queens, what I do is like we work together as a team within Project Queens, or whoever wants to work. We share the listings. So now instead of me repeating this conversation over and over again to every single person that asks me, yeah, it's 20,000 a month, it's this price, it's available, I'd love to show you, blah, 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 right? Now I offload that to the showing agents. So all the showing agents of Project Queens, thank you so much. You don't understand how thankful I am to be working with all of you. The fact that you're motivated and want to learn and want to work and we can work together is so good because, I help with the new agent struggle by providing the knowledge and providing something to work on so you can learn, work, I could guide you in the right direction and you can make some money, right? Because we share the listings. On my end, again, if all I did was pick up the phone, that would take too much. So, but now I take each agent has a listing they're responsible for, and I give them that lead. They can explain it to them and set up a showing, right? So moving on to the showings, if I do 3 showings a day, that's my whole day, right? Maybe 4, and that's already really messed up because it's like, all right, I wake up at 9, first showing's at 10. I get there at 10. I can't schedule my next showing until 12 or 1, just in case the first showing takes long, there's traffic. If the spaces are far away, then I got to account for the travel time. So 3 to 5 showings per day, and my whole day is done. Literally meaning I didn't pick up my phone. Everything's all over my notes everywhere. The next day when I get to the office, after like that thing that I showed you in the beginning, check my email, check my notes, check my phone, all that stuff. I have to reconsolidate it and start over again on the next day. So behind one day in terms of calls and voicemails and everything. So that function takes up the whole day, right? So by sharing these listings, all I need to do is connect the lead with the agent that's working on the listing, right? And we're on the same email threads together. So what happens is, after the showing, there's a follow-up, and then I could follow up and push to negotiate the deal and close the deal, right? And as the agents learn, they can learn how to push the deal, close the deal, and then eventually take that portion of it. So I don't even have to push and close the deal, right? You push and close the deal, right? And we could adjust the splits and whatever. Everything's case by case. This is our job as a real estate broker. You need to negotiate your deals. You need to negotiate your fees on your listings, and you also need to negotiate with other brokers and within your own brokerage, like how we're going to split up deals we're working on, right? It needs to be fair. So whoever is doing the most should get the most, and whoever is getting the least should get the least. As long as everything makes sense and everything's fair, then that's sustainable, then it's good. So what I can focus on now then, right, is as an agent, right? Not as a business owner, because then I have a billion things to do. It's It's very difficult to work all day forever. But as an agent, now all I need to do is call my contacts, get new listings, call all the FISBO signs, get new listings, then processes through office manager, graphic design agents, showing agents on the team, right? And then on the flip side, just close deals. So every day now, like for the past year, I negotiate like 3 deals. It could be the same deal. You got to keep negotiating over and over again. But I do like 3 negotiations like a day. And then the rest of my time is spent like getting listings. I would say like half of my week is spent getting listings and closing deals. And the other half of the time is like managing the different parts of the business and then training like I'm doing right now. And just expanding the business in terms of like branding and in terms of training structure, management structure, all that stuff. So that's the real pipeline, that happens to most people, right? And the speed at which you go through that is just really how much work you want to do, what number of deals you want to do in the year, right? So if you get 5 listings a year, that's the speed that you learn. You've learned through 5 deals for the year, right? And if you do 5 deals every year, in 3 years you did 15. But you can easily do 15 deals in the first year, right? Get 15 listings and then learn 3 times faster. The usual path is, just to summarize, brand newbie agent, has no idea what they're doing, willing to work hard though, and works as much as possible on their own, either making tons of mistakes, learning from them, and closing enough just to survive, or working on a team, getting a smaller split, learning more efficiently, and making just enough to survive, right? Then the middle section is, now you're an experienced agent, but you're not a top broker, you're not rich, right? You're surviving, making, I don't know, 50K to 150K a year, right? So at that point, it's like you have all your listings, you know what to do on every step. But the problem is, now with all of this quantity, you don't have the time and energy and to handle all of these listings. And then when you try to do it, all of these things appear where you realize you're not managing your business well enough. It's not efficient enough. You're wasting way too much time on certain things, right? And if you can just consolidate all this stuff to something better, then your 50 to 150K a year doubles or triples and turns into like anything above $250,000 a year is considered a top agent. And that's what a really good agent said to me once, and it seems to be true, right? So you want to get to that above $250,000 a year level where you can consider yourself a top agent. And to do that, right, whereas the beginner agent has to spend time learning the craft to become a professional, like intermediate agent, the intermediate agent has learned the craft. Now they need to perfect their business structure to have enough energy and manpower, let's say, to move to top agent. So Yeah, so what you're gonna see is that I don't have enough time to do all these showings. So basically, all the problems I was saying that I was running into before, and why I had to switch to the next level, right? Uh, After I do all these showings, I don't even have time to get back to my computer. Now everyone can change the prices all at once and stuff. I have no time to go update all these brochures. So what do? I need to hire an assistant, or I need to make a team, right? And or work at a brokerage that supplies these things, right? Especially out in Queens and in Flushing, like most of these brokerages are like, they give out like high commission split, but they don't supply anything, and you're gonna hit that level. So like you either team up with someone that complements your skill set, or you work for a brokerage that has a graphics designer, um, et cetera, right? So you can do that and then move to the next level. But there's always, in any sales business, especially real estate, you can go and like literally go to any sales office and just say who's the top performer this year, or who's the rookie of the year, right? Who came in first, just got their license this year and was a top performer, right? And you'll find that there's these like top salespeople that no matter where they go, right off the bat, the first year they become top sales, and within the first 3 to 5 years, they become dominant in not only their own company, but maybe even the market or the industry itself, right? So how do you do that? You know, and you do that by being the one, right? Being the person that is super duper motivated to succeed, to make money, to be good at this job, whatever it is, whatever your motivation is, right? If it's to become top sales for whatever reason, that reason needs to propel you to want to do those 15 deals on your first year, right? You need to push as hard and as efficient as you can to get through as many deals as possible and as many transactions, negotiations, offers, contracts as possible, because you learn and perfect your craft on each success. I'm speaking way too much Chinese. My vocabulary is shot. Each successive deal is where you'll learn more and more in every aspect, right? In how to manage your business and how to do your sales. You're going to meet new contacts. You're going to meet new leads. You're going to understand more in the market, everything. So you just keep running that. And if you can hit the ground running super hard, and if you are that person, you could be top sales in the first 2 to 3 years. So that's what my life is like, or has been like. You don't have to want to do top sales, right? So that's on that one. So this is going to be a shorter class today. I'm going to end with this. On the one end, you have like the people that want to do top sales, right? And that's how life is. But then you have people that want to do part-time and don't want to dedicate like 24/7 to this. And there's a way to do that too. But what that really requires is like is the same thing, let's say. Okay, so let's put it this way, because there's a lot of people out there that want to do this part-time. So this is super duper important now that I thought about it. It's the same process, whether you're part-time or full-time, right? Part-time just means that you're only going to see a couple of deals every year. So in the beginning, and this is why part-time doesn't work, by the way, for the most part. In the beginning, you're not going to be so new and green, and you're going to be doing so little deals because it's part-time, that nothing's going to happen. You may try to do like 5 deals over the course of like 2 years, and if none of them close, you're not going to really feel this job. You're not going to understand what this job is and what the money-making potential is, right? But if you're okay with that, and you can pay your bills, you don't need money, you can you can kind of just bide your time and slowly do deals until you really do understand something, until you do close and do learn more, right? This is really a question of time. The best way a part-time agent works is after you actually do understand everything. Like if I became a part-time agent right now, I'd be a killer part-time agent, because like what you would do is just live your normal life, but you would identify a good deal. You know how we said, like, once you get really good, you can identify what's going to work. You see something that works, and when it comes to you, say, okay, yeah, that looks good. Let me do that. And after your day job, or let's say you're stay-at-home parent or whatever, you take these random deals and you already know how to close it, right? So you may not even need to market it. You may just make some phone calls, but let's say you do market it and you just let it sit there and it's a good deal and you close that deal because you have the skill set, you have the knowledge to know how to close it. You close like one of those a year and you can make, you know, depending on your skill level and your contact list, you can make a lot of money. A lot of part-time people, they just want to sell a house, or like entry-level stuff, right? You want to sell a house to your friends. Queens, Nassau houses could easily do $1 million. All right, so I want to sell a house for my friend once a year and make an extra 20, 30K. That's a beautiful thing, you know? Why not? If I can now with, you know, with my commercial contacts and just being in this market for so long, if I wanted to close a deal a year, or just a couple of deals a year and just cherry pick the best ones, you know, I can make a bunch of money every year, just kind of doing nothing. That's very, very possible. But the point is your skill level needs to get there. So really part-time agents have a tough time because it takes so long to get your skill level where it needs to be. So long that this whole thing of let me be a real estate agent, just kind of the hype dies down and then you just forget about it, right? So these are the different I just wanted to share with you, like, because we went through class 1 to 8 explaining the whole process. And so thanks everyone that saw all these videos. I just want to explain a little bit what my life's like, see if there's any questions. We are going to probably just throw out some random classes here and there after this. If I think of something that's really good to talk about, or I get requests for certain topics. There's been people asking questions on the YouTube videos and stuff. And then eventually what I'm going to do is redo this whole series, because for me, this was a practice too. You just got, and I really thank everyone for joining and listening and making comments. It's been wonderful, really. And but I'm like freestyling all this stuff off the top of my head. So thank you for coming on this journey with me as I learn how to do this training stuff better. When we come around, I'm going to rewatch all these videos and like pluck out all the good stuff, kind of reinforce the structure of every class. You know, I'm going to put a little more time into it. I'm going to remove all the ums and stuff. I'm going to get a haircut. And we'll redo this series even better. So anyone have any questions? I would love to answer specific questions, but it's okay. For everyone at Project Queens, we're doing our group and individual training. So as we go over each deal, I'm sure we'll talk about all your individual questions. Anyone out there in the world, just give me a text, join Project Queens. Whatever it is, listen to the videos, drop a comment, and we will take it from there. If that's it, thank you everyone for joining today, and we will see you next time.